welcome back to my living room, where we are going to be going over part 2 of the Natural Farm Era Rose dress. And right now we have just the skirt so that you can see some close-up images of the outside, and then I'll take it off and take it to the table so that we can look at it more over there, especially the inside and the inside construction. So as you can see, there are 3 panels of a box pleat and then 2 other pleats on either side of that center box. And it looks to me, well, it doesn't look to me, it is a fact that they made the skirt and then they put the 3 sweet little ruffles down there on it, and then they added the box pleats. And I'll show you that when we get over to the table so you can see it a little bit better. But isn't it pretty? I just love, again, I love this dress so much. And you can see more of that natural form era where there is no bustle in the back. It just is natural form. And then back here, the gathering to get all of that into that waistband is pretty amazing. That is a lot of fabric that they got into this little tiny waistband. Also, I have it safety pinned together back here because there is no evidence at all whatsoever of there being hook and eye closures, and there is not a button closure back there. But there is a lot of evidence of this waistband being safety pinned, which I find very fascinating. Yes, they did have safety pins back then. Sweet little 3-tiered ruffles. And then this is fun. Let's see, what side is it on? Oh, I think it's on this side. Yep, here it is. Check this out. Yes, folks, we have a pocket, which is fascinating because, as you know, this is a Polonaise style dress, and it would have had the excess fabric down there, so she would have had to fling that wing back to get into her pocket. But what fun. Oops, sorry about my finger. All right, now we'll take this to the table and check it out more. So here she is, laid out flat on the table. And first I want to show you, so we have the three flounces of ruffles. And then again, you have the 3 pleating strips down here. But I want to show you, under there, you can see the 3 layers of ruffles. And then over here, you can tell right here, these were hand stitched on. The pleated panels were hand stitched on over the ruffles. That's so fun. And then up here, because they needed to keep up here on this part, they wanted these pleats to really stick. They didn't use glue or tape, no. They wanted to make sure that these were quite flat and did not flare out. And so what they did up here was they really tacked them down. See how much they tacked them down? Quite a bit. All that is hand stitched. And then on the inside, it's gonna, yeah, oh yeah, you can see that, how much they tacked that down. Now, it wasn't tacked down as much down here, probably just to help flow with the skirt and to give it a more fluid motion and action. But we've got a lot of tacking up here, and then of course the tacking down here at the bottom. Yes, just so beautiful. And then on the inside, you have these hooks that they would have used to hang the skirt on a peg, or, you know, beneath a shelf that had pegs on it in lieu of a hanger. And on the inside here, I don't think, maybe, yes, they did. You can see, if you can, that those have been whip stitched so as to not unravel. They did a really good job on this. The stitching and the construction is really quite wonderful. And again, such a beautiful fabric, a nice drape. It's so soft. I think this would have been really comfortable to wear. All right, up next is the bodice. Okay, before we go on to the bodice, I did want to show you real quick the hem of this dress. Like I said, I don't think this was worn very much at all, because there's no evidence. On a lot of dresses, there would be soiling at the hem just from wear. So maybe this was a graduation dress. I don't know. But when I say this is an absolutely impeccable condition, I'm not kidding. You know, no soilage, whatever. At the bottom, oh, this is interesting. We've got machine stitching here and then hand stitching here. I wonder why. What is that? Interesting. Okay. I don't know why. It's fun. I love looking at the inside of antique garments because you never know what you're going to find. All right, now we're going to the bodice. Okay, now you can see what that Polonaise bodice looks like without the skirt underneath. How the drapings on the side drape down, and then it's pulled up in the back, and there's that cut in the middle that would have shown, well, that does allow the underskirt to be shown. I'm going to start at the top with this beautiful lace. It looks like it was handmade at home or handmade and then purchased. And the beautiful buttons. These buttonholes are amazing. I'm going to show you a better picture of them at the table. But we have these pleats up here. This pleating, this is not a box pleat, it's just a regular pleat. And then down the sides are the fluffs. Yes, that is what I'm calling them right now. Panniers. Pannier type items that really very much reflected the style in the late 1700s with those, you know, the really broad hips and the panniers that the ladies wore. Interesting, this part right here, starting up here and going down, is one piece. And then it goes this way and it's cut so that the bodice part can be sewn in. Very interesting. I do have a truly Victorian pattern that would have made one of these, but the construction just totally freaked me out, so I never made it. But yeah, you've got this front panel and then the side, and I'm sure there's a side back. We're gonna turn her around and look at her here. Isn't she lovely? All right. And this is her back. Something weird's going on back here. I wonder what's going on. Should have fixed that before. Ah, there we go. Much better. Okay. Look at the pattern matching on this. It's absolutely exquisitely done. Again, these very beautiful wild roses on here. I like this color. It's a very different and unusual color. But then the pattern matching, little upper lower back, and then this right here on the peplum. And then down here, you have all of this bustling in the back that's just so beautiful. Oops, sorry about that. And when we take it to the table, I'll be showing you how they kept, okay, so this is a huge amount of fabric going on here. And how they kept it bustled up and how they kept it from really swinging wide, you know, kind of kept it under control. They used with tapes, ribbon, And in our girl's case, she has elastic, strips of elastic. So, all right, let's take her to the table after I show you this. Again, just part of this bodice. So beautifully done. Table time for the Polonaise bodice. I have her laid out here so that we can look at the inside of her. It's really, really so pretty. I wanted to show you up here, we have more hanging loops. So there's one on this arm, opening arm side, and one on this arm side. Again, to hang on a peg in lieu of a hanger. And I wanted to show you this. Oh, my giddy aunt. So check out those buttonholes. That looks like it was done by a machine, doesn't it? Yes, well, I'm thinking it was not done by a machine, but that it was done by hand. Let's see if I can get this a little, okay, come on, cooperate. Let me see if I can get this a little better. Here we go. Yeah. See that? That was not done by a machine. Those were bound by hand. I'm thinking whoever made this got an A++ in buttonhole sewing class, because that's just amazing. So amazing. All right, now for the seams back here, a lot, if not all, we'll say a good majority of seams in the back, in the bodice, and in the front, sorry. Didn't mean to say just in the back, but they would have had boning. Just because that was what they did, was they put boning. Not only did you have boning in your corset, you had boning in the seams in the bodice. But this has zero indication that there was ever boning in this, which again takes me back to thinking that this was for a young lady, because an older lady would have had, I mean, this is just an exquisitely made dress that I don't think it would not have had boning in it had it been for a lady. But look at the binding of the seams. Again, they were whip stitched to keep them from unraveling. And even in the, there we go, even in the arm side, everything is whip stitched to keep it from unraveling. So amazing. Okay, now we're going to go down to here where we have the panniers on either side. I'm not sure that that is a technical term for a polonaise, but that's what I'm calling them. So remember in the back how it was bustled up. This is how they kept that massive quantity of fabric from just flying all over the place, and they kept it corralled, was they used the tapes, ribbons, or like Our Lady has the elastic. Now this elastic is dead. It has no more stretch in it. But at the time it would have really, looks like it's really been stretched out. It would have kept this tucked up and nice and neat back there. I'm going to just show you a little bit of the construction details. It's just been tacked up there to keep the sides up and where they wanted to have this area be back here. And I wanted to show you in particular the, let's see, this would have, let's see, this tore. Yeah, there we go. So a lot of, because I used to be in the costuming, not industry, costume. I used to do historical costuming. And I was always so worried about what the insides of my dresses would look like. I thought I had to have them perfect. And then when I really started researching and looking into historical clothing, the insides are not perfect. Not even Charles Frederick Worth, the father of haute couture, his insides were not perfect. In fact, they were, was able to see two dresses at Costume College in 2018. It was shocking how hideous they were on the inside, but that made me feel happy because I didn't need to be perfect. I didn't need to be perfect. I mean, look at this mitered edge. That's horrible. They did not do a good job here. And so for those of you who are still in the costuming, you know, make historical costuming, please don't stress about your insides, because the ancestors that we are trying to emulate, theirs weren't perfect. These were close for them. So just have fun when you're costuming. Okay, if anyone ever has questions, please leave them in the comments below, and I will try my best to either do another video or answer them, you know, do research on them and answer them for you. Okay, for right now, we're going to say goodbye to the Rose Natural Form Era dress, and I will chat with you later. Toodaloo!